Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to our final session of Investment Crowdfunding Week, our food and beverage and CPG pitch session. It's interesting. I feel like so many people think the only types of companies that can successfully raise an equity crowdfunding are consumer brands and things like beer companies and snack companies. And while I hope we've more than dispelled that myth this week with all the amazing companies we featured, that is not to say that these companies don't perform well. And we have seen some amazing food and beverage and CPG companies really succeed in our space and go on to become massive businesses. Just take LMNT, for instance, that you will now see featured on national television and in pretty much every store in the United States. They had an early crowdfunding round several years ago that really helped propel them as a business. And there are many other stories like this. So, in terms of run a show today, each of our CPG founders will have 5 minutes to pitch, followed by Q&A from myself, as well as Teddy and Brian on our team, and you, the crowd. So, if you have questions, please drop them into the Q&A while the founders are pitching, so we can try and get to as many questions as possible. I also want to note that you can access reports for all pitching companies today as long as you create a free account on Kingscrowd. You could check out the Resources Center, which is down below on the bottom bar of the Zoom link, to get access to all of the links of these unlocked reports. And definitely drop your questions in that Q&A so we can make sure we get to them since we have limited time. So first up, Andrew Geisel of Citizens Coffee, come on up.
Yeah, well, just firstly, super excited to be here, Chris. Appreciate you guys and Kingscrowd putting this on, and super stoked to be able to share the stage with a range of other amazing companies and founders here today. So, my name's Andrew Geisel. I'm a co-founder of Citizens Specialty Cafe. We're an all-day Australian cafe concept. And I'd like to start by just telling you a little bit about, why we made Citizens. So you can probably tell from my voice, I'm not from America. In 2015, I had just graduated from architecture school and wanted to take a gap year and came to New York City. And like a lot of other Aussies, was surprised that it was a little bit difficult to find an amazing cup of coffee. But more so, what I was missing was the classic Australian cafe back home does two things really well together. Of course, high-class specialty coffee, an espresso program that's, best in class, but also combining that with a chef-driven, robust food program, and that's what we really know and love back home. It becomes the community touch point. You can get your morning coffee, amazing table service food, the whole lot together. And that was difficult. We noticed that, you could get a strong coffee here and there. You also could go to a breakfast restaurant, some other places that would do good meals, but it was very rare to bring those two things best in class under one roof. And, just the same as we'd seen back home, we could see that the next generation consumer was demanding an upgrade on this model. Things like better products, more transparent, honest sourcing of your ingredients, and elevation in experience and hospitality. And that's what led to the idea of, hey, if we can't find it, why don't we go ahead and build it ourselves? So that's what we set out on our mission to do back in 2016. So I'll quickly kick off with a snapshot of who we are. We do better breakfast, lunch, and now dinner. And we also do specialty coffee and have a liquor license for cocktails at all of our venues. Like I said, we have a bit of a dynamic service format. Of course, our restaurants have about a 70 to 90 seat dining room in all of them. And as well as that, we have this to-go service format that pairs really nicely with the coffee and the lighter bite offerings. We have 4 locations, 2 in New York and 2 in Texas. To date, since 2016, we've done over $35 million in lifetime revenue. I'll quickly take you through some of our locations. In New York, we have Chelsea and Soho. New York also houses our HQ and our commissary. And in 2023, we felt really strongly about proving that the concept is portable, that it has the legs to scale. So we launched into Houston, Texas, and it was one of the best things that we've done, ever at the company. It was such a successful launch. And earlier this year, we actually had the privilege of growing and opening a location in Austin, Texas as well, which has been a smash hit. This page hopefully does the main talking for who we are and what we do. And if I've presented this well, we'll get a couple of you guys to start drooling. But what you can see, we don't try and make this too complicated, right? We don't need to reinvent the wheel. We take classics and staples that people know and love. but we inject our identity and our flair into them. We innovate them, we bring some Australian flair, always really colorful, always fresh, leaning on the healthy side. And that's what we've seen to be so desirable and widely accepted is that, hey, people can come to our restaurants, they see Australian cafe fare and they say, oh, wow, that sounds a little bit interesting and different. They can still get all the same foods they know and they love, but they just have this fresh feel to them that makes them a little bit more interesting. Some brand highlights of ours to date. This year, we're on track to do about $12 million in revenue. Our AUV, or our average unit volume, is $3 million per year. And we're really proud of this number. You can see it outperforms some industry comps like Starbucks at about 2 million and First Watch at just over 2 million. Now, how we're able to do this really is in the dynamic format that I touched on earlier. So we are that combination of the coffee shop and the restaurant in one roof. We can combine both of those revenue streams together, and we get a really strong cross-pollination of customers. People come in and they fall in love with us over a $4 coffee, but then they look around and they see the venue and the experience and the ambiance, and they say, hey, I want to come back here and I want to check this out for brunch and see their full menu. Um, Operating primarily in breakfast and doing coffee and cocktails, the profitability is quite high, particularly on the breakfast food side of things. Ingredients are quite cheap and easy to source, low on proteins and high on bread, fruit, and veg. Our same store sales growth is on track to continue growing at 34% year on year. And more recently, we've just brought roasting in-house. So we started roasting in Houston, Texas. This enabled us to get our coffee at a higher quality, at a fresher roast to our stores, and also at lower cost. But a big unlock that's come with this is we now ship direct to consumer all across the country to send our citizens coffee to all of the fans of ours, across the country. So that's our coffee beans, K-cup capsules, espresso pods. And this is something we feel really passionate about. We think there's a lot of room for growth, and it's an exciting vertical for the business. For many years, we've had people asking how they can bring citizens out of our restaurant and into their own home, into their kitchen. So we're super excited to be able to do this, and we think it presents a amazing opportunity for us to grow on. Um, to date, we've had some amazing press. Like I said, I think because I sound a little different, it definitely doesn't hurt. But we're really genuine about what we do. We love hospitality and we've loved this journey of building the company. And it's enabled us to get some really amazing storytelling opportunities through PR. And yeah, I'll just quickly talk to you about where we're going here. So, over the better part of the last decade, we've refined what we do, we've honed our craft, and we've worked hard to build a model that's worth scaling, right? And I think, we've all seen concepts that are flash in the pan that seem like they're going to be the next big thing, but they fail to substantiate. And I feel proud that we've had, the better part of 10 years to build and to learn and to grow and to get to a point today where I say, we've been able to do this in New York City. We've learned so much. We've been able to take this to Texas and prove the white space and the scalability. Now, let's go and take this next challenge. So we want to get to 40 units by the end of 2029. We want to continue to improve our economies of scale by scaling throughout Texas. We're in Houston and Austin. We're on the way to Dallas and to San Antonio, and to continue to grow on the East Coast side of things in our home, throughout New York, up to Connecticut, Boston, and beyond. And yeah, as I wrap up, we're super excited to be on this journey. We've done two crowdfunds to date, both successfully raising over $1 million, and we're back in the crowd again with WeFunder. If anyone would like to join the journey or learn more, you can find out details on WeFunder. And yeah, just super thankful for everyone's time and for anyone who'd like to come on board or anyone who's just a well-wisher. Super excited to be here.
Terrific. Thank you so much, Andrew. And we'll bring up Teddy over here as well for some questions. But one question I have for
Awesome.
you is just in terms of creating these new locations, what is your kind of research process to decide best spots for those new locations, and how many do you have planned for 2026?
Yeah, it's a fantastic question. And I think it's one that I feel lucky to be able to do at Citizens. So, in leading head of growth and development, we spend a lot of time in analyzing the growth strategy. I think there's a couple core principles that we're sticking to. Every time that you move a concept, there's risk, right? There's portability risk in moving city to city or state to state. So the fact that we've found a market in Texas that is very pro-business, economically speaking, it's super strong. It's a very big food and beverage industry, and restaurants perform really well there. And there's amazing growth potential. We don't need to make this more complex, right? So over the next 24 months, we feel really, really certain that the right play for our company is to double down in Houston and Austin, get those markets to 6 stores each, and then to get the introduction into Dallas and San Antonio. So we've got a roadmap that has us opening 5 locations next year. We've got a handful of LOIs and leases that we're working on as we speak. And then the year after that, you know, this is not a tech company. There is no infinite scale button. You know, there are checks and balances that happen, that need to happen for this company to grow successfully. So we live by the motto, you know, you're only as successful as your last restaurant. Each one of our restaurants needs to be open correctly, on time, on budget, right culture, right experience. And so long as we're doing that, we can open 5 next year. We can open 8 the year after that. And as the team continues to grow, we'll be able to open more and more.
Excellent. Teddy?
Yeah, hey Andrew, great job. So I'd love to just build on that and think about how kind of as you scale, how do you really ensure the kind of quality control? Because as you increase unit count, of course, that becomes more
Yeah.
and more difficult. So yeah, curious how you think about that.
Yeah, it's another great question. I think as companies become larger, they run the risk of 2 big problems: culture dilution and product dilution. And I think at its core, both of those are centralized to people, right? So we're really bullish that we're in the industry of people. We're not even in the industry of food and beverage. People for us are our locals and our legends. That's our guests and our teams. And we believe that so long as that we are always investing into our people, that we're building a company culture that has a genuine passion for what we do, and finding people of that like-minded spirit, we will be able to grow in a way that doesn't dilute who we are and what we do. So yeah, I'd say if we can continue to be genuine and passionate in our mission, and this doesn't just become a let's get to 40 stores at all costs, that's what will be able to give us that unlock of every restaurant being an amazing local community touch point. If we can have 40 of those, then we've done our job really, really well.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Andrew. And next up, we will have Juraj now coming back up from Wise Earth.
Hi everyone, I'm Mirai, and my company is Wise Earth, where we are tackling America's #1 health problem of chronic inflammation with delicious adaptogenic honey. So this is me and my co-founder, and we started back in or basically he started back in 2022 when his sister died of cancer, and he was determined to honor her memory and found a company that would be helping other people as well. So he partnered with the traditional Chinese medicine masters to put adaptogenic mushroom extracts into honey, and the result is Wise Earth. So, what problem we are actually solving? It's the problem of chronic inflammation, which is the biggest problem in the US right now, because the chronic inflammation is the problem behind cardiovascular disease, behind obesity, behind cancer, behind prediabetes. So all of these problems are basically the chronic inflammation is behind these problems. So why adaptogenic mushrooms? So they are used in traditional Chinese medicine for more than 3,000 years. So they are time tested by history and by time. But at the same time, there are many double-blinded studies showing that they have healing powers and impact our immunity. So, but not only immunity, our energy and focus and like stress relief as well. They reduce anxiety. And why combination with honey? So this was more of a intuitive thing, and later we found out that that there are actual studies showing that when we combine the extracts of adaptogenic mushrooms with honey, the sugar from the honey is increasing the bioavailability. So basically the body takes much more out of the much more nutrients and the beneficial substances in the mushrooms into the body. So here are, I will mention, we have hundreds of amazing testimonials, but I will mention just these three. On the left, you can see Alex. Well, his skin almost on 100% of the body was really red and irritated. And after 1 month of using our adaptogenic honey, it was completely gone. And he as a teenager, it improved not only his health, but of course, like his like his mentality and everything. Then we have James, where his wart just basically fell off. So he was putting it topically, but also eating it, and and yeah, then it fell off. Then we have Max, the dog, and he had cancer. The doctors said it's not curable. But after like taking the honey, he basically healed. So why now? It's because the current market, functional food market, is the size of $72 billion and expected to grow 9% each year. And there's a growing awareness about the dangers of chronic inflammation, and even the new Trump cabinet is doing uh, basically education on this topic. So we have two core customers, resilient warriors and health evangelists. So resilient warriors are people that are combining traditional medical intervention with other alternative options, just like ours. And then there are health evangelists, people in the health and wellness space that they take it as a preventative. We have three main products. The bestseller is the longevity. One jar is $109, but it's 32 ounces. So it's a three months like 3 months dosage. So it's approximately $1.1 per spoon. So our business model, we currently we work with as a D2C, mainly with influencers, affiliate partners, and we just a couple of weeks ago we started to reach out to smaller and bigger health and wellness chains. So my background is in the D2C. With my previous company, we generated 21 million with a team of just 7 people. We collaborated with top 10 US biohacking celebrities, and I was invited to speak at the more than 40 podcasts. So this is where we stand against the competition. So we are not the most expensive ones, but we tick lots of the parts where others don't. So the blend is designed by traditional Chinese medicine masters. It is improved. It has improved nutrients. It has great taste, and the extract ratio is 25:1, where others are usually about 10:1. This is the financial projections that we expect after we get the raise. For the first year, it's about approximately $500,000, and for the second year, it's 2 million. And we are currently raising $450,000. And so we are live on the crowdfunding campaign. The current conditions are the first $100,000 is on a 2 million valuation. The smallest amount that would move the needle is $200,000. This is the current traction. Which stores already wanted to work with us. This is the team that with some of them I'm working for almost 6 years. And this is the key community of engaged, not only customers, but various influential like people in the health and wellness space.
Terrific.
So yeah, I would like to, if this caught your attention, I would definitely like to invite you to join our mission fighting chronic inflammation tastefully. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for your presentation and for what you're building. Couple of questions for you here. First question from my side is, in terms of getting into kind of mainstream stores, is that an opportunity? Are there limitations with being a functional mushroom at how stores look like that and are willing to carry it? And how do you think about that in terms of impacting your potential long-term growth?
Yeah, so this is definitely not a problem because when you take companies like Four Sigmatic or Mudwater, they are multi-billion-dollar companies, and it's the category of adaptogenic mushrooms or functional mushrooms is the biggest, the fastest growing category in on Amazon and everywhere. So people know about them. They when they see it, they know what's reishi, what's cordyceps, and things like that. So there's no, let's say, legislation or anything that would like hinder this.
Got it. Teddy?
Yeah, so I saw on your raise page that later this year into next year, you're looking to expand and have products, peanut butter, bars, and energy drinks. So I'm curious kind of how you think about launching new products versus expanding distribution of your existing SKUs.
Yeah, so our idea is we have a great R&D team, and so first we start with the honey. And once we build up the distribution, and once we have good relationships, and we decide that the time is right, we want to slowly introduce like more mainstream products, just like a bar or like a peanut butter. So that's the strategy, and because we have it almost ready, we just like want to do the timing right.
Terrific. Well, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And next up, we will have Chad Rosen, the founder of Victory Hemp.
Well, I want to thank Sam and the entire Kingscrowd family for giving us an opportunity to tell a little bit about our story, our business, and share more about our community around on WeFunder. For decades, farmers have been forced to work within a system that's harmful to us and soil health. So subsidies and policies, they're really the hidden villain in this. They prioritized efficiency and yields over soil health, crop diversity, and consumer wellness. We grow 180 million acres of corn and soybeans here in the US alone. And a lot of farmers are limited to the options that they can grow, and they're locked into production systems that often push crops into lands that really don't accept those crops, or they don't grow well there. And to make matters worse, much of the protein and food ingredients on store shelves are imported through long fragmented supply chains that drive up emissions, reduce transparency, and put consistency at risk. And the result is that foods that rely on these ingredients have common allergens, they cause digestive and immune risks, and they even carry hidden risks from hormones, antibiotics, and disruptive phytoestrogens. So, and I think the other part is that it's not only our body that's taking the hit, it's our ecosystems. Conventional farming operations can emit high levels of methane and widespread manure pollution in our rivers and waterways. Industrial farming relies on monocrop practices that really degrade soil and demand synthetic pesticides and drive deforestation in places like the Amazon. So our solution is hemp. It delivers what other proteins can't. Our products offer the ideal ratio of 3-to-1 omega-3 and omega-3 fatty acids. They're rich in essential fatty acids like ALA and SDA, all while staying extremely low in saturated fats. It's also a powerful protein source. And our products deliver 70% protein with all 9 essential amino acids, plus critical micronutrients like iron, magnesium, and zinc. And unlike soy or pea, it's easy to digest and free from common allergens. So Americans deserve a protein that's clean, delicious, and kind to the planet. And hemp's that answer. No pesticides, no allergens, and no compromises. It's easy for farmers to grow, and it's great for soil health and delivers a complete gut-friendly protein for consumers and food brands alike that are serving those consumers. A little bit about me. I've always worked in manufacturing businesses which seek to have a positive environmental impact. Working in building materials before this, I was on the founding team of a manufacturing business that pioneered recycled glass surfaces for high-performance sustainable buildings. It was a business that we eventually sold to the largest natural stone manufacturer in North America. My passion for starting this business really came about from the experience that so many other active athletes have after drinking a protein shake or a long run or workout. I was experiencing bloating and cramping, and I was left with a taste profile that I didn't love or want to keep drinking. I love the flavor of hemp hearts and how they made me feel just as much as I love the nutritional profile. And when Congress provided legislation to put hemp on the pathway to legality in 2014, I saw that as my opportunity. Our products, to talk about them just a little bit, have a mild neutral flavor, high water and binding capacity to help formulators create clean label products with fewer ingredients and better textures. From plant-based burgers to protein shakes to skincare, hemp hearts ingredients make it possible to build better products. Couldn't get coverage this night, so we got Hopper with us. We're not raising capital to start this business. No, in fact, we're raising capital to scale this business. In the past 3 months, we've seen our growth rate sail through $1 million run rate to reach 1.5 in an annual run rate. Our patent was awarded for the process that we're running today, and that's one that doesn't use solvents, doesn't use heat in the manufacturing process. This patent gives us a head start in a lane that we have already largely defined. Our backers are strategic as well as smart, and our community round is helping us scale the capacity and the revenue. So our state-of-the-art facility in Carrollton, Kentucky, which you're all welcome to visit, it's fully automated and certified by multiple third-party quality regimes, including the Global Food Safety Initiative certified, OK Kosher, Project Non-GMO, USDA Organic, and we meet the highest standards for global standards for food safety and quality. Hundreds of thousands of acres of hemp grain have been grown across North America for food ingredients in the past 3 decades, and it fits seamlessly. And this is hemp, and it fits seamlessly with existing equipment and crop rotations. It's regenerative in nature. It restores soil health by improving biodiversity and reducing the need for synthetic pesticides while sequestering carbon from the atmosphere. What more could you ask for? Victory is sitting at the intersection of good farming and healthy eating, creating new supply chain that works better for farmers, the planet, and the protein economy. Our award-winning hemp is been covered by several national outlets and we've won a bunch of awards. But most important, the B2B food manufacturing coverage from food industry publications has been tremendous in driving traffic from our true target audience, which is the food scientists that are developing the next generation of gluten-free snacks or protein bars. Our leadership team is very experienced in food. They hail from academic institutions renowned for sustainable business practices and environmental sciences. We combine research and extensive experience from leading fast-moving consumer goods and manufacturing companies like Nestle, Givaudan, Polycor, D.D. Williamson, Treehouse Food, and Vita Coco. So we're ready to scale this business with our team. And we've proven our concept in the booming plant-based market where demand is absolutely surging. The global plant-based protein market is projected to surpass 53 billion by 2030. And as we scale production, we'll unlock more efficiency gains that enable us to produce larger volumes of hemp hearts, protein, and oil, and other high-value ingredients, all derived from a single regenerative crop at better margins and profits. So we've proven our market in the We see multiple pathways towards generating shareholder return. The M&A environment in the plant-based protein space is active and it's attractive. Recent acquisitions reflect strong interest in both B2B ingredient supply and D2C nutritional products. This puts us in a really favorable position with optionality, which all investors should love. Our core business, it's built on B2B enterprise contracts, supplying bulk hemp protein and oil to food manufacturers and food ingredient providers. These customers, they rely on us for consistency, high volume orders. This creates a stable, reoccurring revenue stream driven by the rising industry-wide demand for plant protein. Additionally, we operate a direct-to-consumer line that offers health-conscious consumers the opportunity to incorporate clean hemp into their nutrition and well-being routines. And our B2B business is really what's driving the majority of our revenue. So our D2C channel just deepens our understanding of consumer preferences. It builds brand equity, and it serves as a ground for future innovation. I know we probably got a bunch of healthy folks on this line, so I would encourage you to visit our website and get a pack for yourself. And our Kentucky facility's maxed out to meet soaring demand. Onboard, we're scaling to onboard more enterprise customers and growing those existing partners. So we're breaking ground on a new 25,000 square foot facility in Kentucky early next year, and we're hoping to be operational by 2027. With this new build, we'll be able to 5x our production capacity, driving up to 30 million in potential revenue and setting the stage for operating profitability that's projected to be at 15% EBITDA. Of course, it's not guaranteed, but we'll do everything we can to get there, and we see a really clear path to get there. Talking about our investors, it's made up of impact investors. They all align with our mission, and that includes some of the most bold CEOs and founders in the food and agriculture space. Look, America deserves a protein that's clean, delicious, and kind to the planet, right, Hop? Hemp is the answer, right? No pesticides, no allergens, no compromises. It's easy for farmers to grow, great for soil health, and delivers a complete gut-friendly protein for consumers and food brands alike. So I hope you'll join us in rebuilding American agriculture with a plant-based protein that consumers love, one hemp seed at a time by investing in Victory Hemp Foods.
Awesome. Thank you, Chad. I think we only have time for one question, and thanks for raising up the next generation of entrepreneurs. Teddy, I'll let you take this question here.
Yeah, Chad, great to see you again.
Hey, Teddy.
So I'm curious. So you're pretty unique in the sense that, you're B2B, you're supplying hemp protein in bulk to manufacturers. So curious why you decided kind of at the beginning to go all in on the B2B channel and why that makes the most sense when it comes to hemp protein.
I think we're at the very beginning of introducing this ingredient to market in the sense that food manufacturers have a lot of different options. And for us, in order to scale, we can be in not only our brand, but we can be in hundreds of other brands very rapidly. So we're supplying groups like Laird Superfoods and Huel and Marzetti, and all these brands become outlets for our product. I think that the CPG landscape is extraordinarily crowded, but if we have a product that fits in every single product on every grocery store aisle, we're able to have a much broader impact very rapidly. And the largest largest private company in the world is Cargill. They serve ingredients, and we're in the same vein.
It certainly is a massive sector. I do have some experience working in that industry many years ago, and appreciate what you're building here, Chad. Thank you so much. Next up, we are going to have Tyler Gage of Cairnspring Mills, a really interesting company. Tyler was not able to be here today, but he was kind enough to pre-record his pitch, so we'll be watching his pitch video.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tyler Gage. I'm the chairman and CFO of Cairnspring Mills. We're a sustainable wheat flour mill located in Washington State. We mill locally sourced grains into incredibly flavorful flour and are pioneering the craft flour movement in the US. All right. My personal background, I've been in food and beverage for about 20 years, been on with Cairnspring for a bit over 4 years. Finance nerd by training, deeply passionate about transforming food systems and scaling companies, taking companies through the early inception, through becoming very large national brands with large supply chains, sold multiple companies, and get to be the number 2 behind our founder, Kevin Morse, who's an extremely well-respected leader in the wheat flour milling space across the country. Bit of a history of milling. So many years ago, there used to be a plethora of mills across the country producing local food. And that has been incredibly consolidated into several mega corporations producing much lower quality, cheap flour, which leads to lack of resiliency for local food economies and also much lower quality product. These are mass produced crops. These commodity systems often lead to little to no income, if not losses for farmers, and they produce a very low quality product. Most of the white flour is not only devoid of nutrients, but devoid of flavor. And that's where we come in. So Cairnspring, we exclusively source unique varietals of grains from farmers that we know and directly contract with in the Pacific Northwest that use regenerative and sustainable production methods to produce very flavorful grain. We then exclusively stone mill. So through a stone milling process to our European style specifications, we create a very flavorful type of flour that is much more flavorful, so it's great to eat, and also leads to better farming and helps out the local farmers with more income and more responsible practices. In many ways, our business is rooted in the foundation of the impact we have on farmers, but what has enabled us to grow is the quality of the product that we make. We've been touted by some of the most famous and most respected bakers and chefs in the country, like Chad Robertson, the founder of Tartine. And it's really these chefs that put us on the map and have allowed us to grow as fast as we have. We have been producing at capacity for about 2 years and have been unable to keep up with demand. We've had an incredible team fueling this growth. People that come from big milling companies, small entrepreneurial companies, high growth brands. It's really the right mix to fuel us to the next stage of growth. Our current business is profitable. As I said, we're operating at max capacity at our current mill in Skagit County, Washington. We did 6.2 million in revenue last year at an almost double-digit EBITDA margin. We've been able to break beyond the double-digit EBITDA margin at our current mill this year, with most of our sales as B2B. So we supply production bakeries, restaurants, and chefs that use our flour. We have broken ground on a second mill in Northeast Oregon on the land of the Umatilla tribe that will allow us to significantly increase capacity and fill the demand that we have. Most of the demand is from large customers, many of whom are very well-known baking brands and flour companies in the US that we have offtake agreements with. And our increased capacity will allow us to operate our same responsible business, sourcing from local farms and producing more high-quality flour. We have an amazing group of investors we are deeply grateful to. Peter Buffett, the team from Terra Regenerative, Patagonia, many others who have supported our growth. Deeply believe in what we're doing, have robustly diligenced the investment, and we're excited to have the opportunity to bring on the crowdfunding. We've been blown away by the response so far. We set a national record in our first 30 days on WeFunder, having raised over $1 million from 500 investors in 30 days. We are deep believers in the power of community. Community is what's gotten us here, and we're excited to have more of you on board to support us going forward, to follow the journey and be part of the team. So there's much more information on our WeFunder page to learn more. We look forward to hearing from you. Any questions, please let us know. And thank you so much for considering this opportunity.
Outstanding. Well, thank you, Tyler. I know you couldn't be here, but wonderful presentation. Michele, thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
So first question for you, in terms of kind of long-term vision for the business, I mean, what you all have done is very, very impressive in terms of where you've gotten to in a fairly short amount of time. As you think about kind of the long-term goals for the business, it seems like a very mission-driven business. Where do you all see this business going? Where do you want to be in 5 years as a business?
Yeah, that's a great question. I really appreciate it. We view ourselves as pioneering a $700 million segment in the $23 billion US flour market. This idea of bringing craft flour back to the communities started about 10 years ago in the Skagit Valley in Northwest Washington State. And that mill, over the past 8 years since it's been in operation, has really been the blueprint for what we're hoping to bring out to Pendleton, Oregon on tribal land in partnership with the Confederated Tribes of the Umatilla Indian Reservation, and then hopefully to other states in the United States as well, like Colorado and Maryland. So we've, our current project that we've just broken ground on has been about 2.5 years in the making, but we've been at this for about a decade and have proven our concept, have an incredible amount of pent-up demand, and now we're looking to replicate that.
Amazing. Teddy?
Yeah, Michele, thanks so much for being here. So
Thanks for having me.
yeah, so I think in the presentation I saw that a slide where it said 4 flower manufacturers own like 87% of the market. Is that
10,
right?
yeah.
10, okay. So yeah, curious what unique challenges does that pose to have such large competitors and such a consolidated market? And is the long-term strategy to eventually be acquired by one of these major players?
Our long-term strategy is to continue to build a business that adds value to the communities and customers who we partner with. And as far as competition, we're not competing with the commodity market. We are trying to change the system. So our goal is to rebuild local food systems because that helps make communities more prosperous, healthy, and resilient. It's to bring critical infrastructure in the place where, the agriculture is, into rural communities, into distressed communities, to work directly with farmers on a human scale and provide an opportunity to lift farmers out of the commodity market and give them an alternative that helps pay a living wage, that focuses on soil health and promotes regenerative agriculture and production, as well as creating a naturally nutritious product, for bakers and professional and home bakers all across the country.
Awesome. I'm excited to check it out. We love making bread at our house.
Are you a baker? I was just going to ask.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm
great.
excited to buy some Cairnspring Mills. So that's awesome. Love what you're doing for the farming community as well. I think it's wonderful. And great to see that you've all established a really, tremendous space in the market for yourselves. And it does seem like an interesting time to come in as you're entering that phase of real commercial growth and wanting to scale up the business. So congratulations on all your success.
Thank
and
you.
Looking forward to seeing where you all go from here.
Really
So
appreciate
next
that.
up will be Michael Chernow, who is the CEO of Creatures of Habit. Also was not able to be here today, but was kind enough to provide a video pitch that we will bring up now.
Kingscrowd community, my name is Michael Chernow. I am the founder and CEO of Creatures of Habit, a wellness brand rooted in nutritional, healthy habits. I wish I could be there with you live today. Unfortunately, I have a surgery scheduled that is conflicting with this time, but I'm going to give you the stats on Creatures of Habit, and I also made a pretty awesome video for you to look at after this one. First of all, the cap table is awesome. We've got Gary Vaynerchuk on the cap table, Lance Armstrong on the cap table, Howie Roseman, Dean Graziazzi. There's a bunch of really incredible people that are on the cap table that have supported this brand for a long time. We're 4 years in. This year, we will do $5 million in revenue. 70% of that revenue is coming from subscribers. So we've done a really great job at building a foundation of subscribers, which is sort of our bread and butter at Creatures of Habit. There's a lot of things that I talk about in the other video that we dig in deep. I just wanted to get on here and introduce myself because I won't be able to be there in person. But check out the video, and if you want to connect with me directly, shoot me an email at michael@creaturesofhabit.com. That's creatures with a K. Michael@creaturesofhabit.com. I'd love to get a one-on-one with you, and I'd love for you to hop on this cap table and help us close this round on Start Engine, which we've raised $800,000 so far for. Making breakfast in the morning honestly sucks. That's why so many people either grab something unhealthy or skip breakfast and get super hungry so that by the time lunch comes, they gorge themselves. My name is Michael Chernow. I'm the founder of a business called Creatures of Habit. Our hero product is Meal One. a high protein overnight oatmeal that will knock your socks off. Packed with super clean, incredibly delicious ingredients. In this pouch right here, gluten and glyphosate free oats, 30 grams of plant-based protein, which is the highest protein content of any overnight oats in the market. It's got chia seeds, flax seeds, and pumpkin seeds for omega-3 fatty acids. It's got pink Himalayan salt for electrolytes, vegan vitamin D3. It is so easy to make meal one. You literally pour this pouch into a jar, you add 5 ounces of almond milk or oat milk or regular milk, mix it up for about 30 seconds, throw it into the fridge overnight. We also introduced Creature Sleep because sleep is integral to happiness and health. So I wanted to create a product that would help people relax and get qualitative sleep. The story that we've created is you start your day with meal one and you finish your day with Creature Sleep. It is a full wellness optimization system that is convenient, delicious, and clean. So what are we going to be using this money for? Well, it's a 3-pronged approach. We are planning on going into retail in 2027, and in order to do that, we're going to need more cash. So it's going to support our retail rollout strategy, it's going to support building a bigger team, and then of course, it's going to be used for marketing. Let's talk numbers. Lifetime sales, 11.8 million. 2024 gross sales, 4.1 million. It's April 7th, 2025, and the year-to-date sales are 1.2 million, and the projected sales for 2025 are 5.2 million. Our business is built for subscription. We have over 2,000 subscribers using Meal One and Creature Sleep. The other piece of the puzzle that contributes to revenue success is our average order value. Our average order value is a healthy $94. How did I come up with the idea? From the ages of 13 to 23 years old, I struggled with addiction. I finally found the courage to reach out and ask for help. That help came in the form of a man who was passionate about wellness. He wrote a plan for me, and the first thing on that list was to eat oatmeal. After years and years of building businesses in the world of restaurants, the pandemic hit. I needed to make a pivot, so I took about a year to really think about what it was I was gonna do. On a run, it just hit me. I've been eating this oatmeal for the last 16 years. This is the meal that's fueled me as an entrepreneur, a father, a husband, an athlete. I've put $325,000 of my own money into Creatures of Habit because I believe in this business more than anything else in the world. I want to tell my story as loud as humanly possible. Throw our flag in the ground for changing bad habits for great ones. And you never know where it's going to come from. Maybe, just maybe, it's a bowl of oatmeal. Why invest in Creatures of Habit? There's 2 things that are required for entrepreneurship: endurance and patience. And those are 2 things that I've gotten comfortable with. If you had to put your money on somebody, I'm willing to take the responsibility. And that, at the end of the day, is what Creatures of Habit is all about.
Awesome. Well, another great presentation. I know he's not here to answer any questions, but thank you very much for providing that video, Michael, and for the business you're building. And definitely go check them out if you're interested in investing. As a reminder, you can access all of the reports in the resources section for free as long as you create a free account on Kingscrowd. Teddy, any last thoughts on that last deal?
Well, number one, I'm excited to try that. I love oatmeal, so I'm excited to try Creatures of Habit. But yeah, I think, with any CPG, especially one like Creatures of Habit that today is exclusively D2C, would love to kind of learn more. If he was here, would have loved to have asked him, but I'll talk to him offline just about customer acquisition costs, how they're really marketing this online today, and kind of digging into that. So that's what I would be looking for in evaluating this one. But yeah, I think it was a great session overall.
Absolutely. No, we've had some awesome founders on today. And for everyone who's listening, Nate McQueen, who has stuck around, you have won the 3-month free Edge subscription. So congrats. We will reach out to you. We have your contact info to do so. And this marks the end of investment crowdfunding week. I just want to wrap it up by thanking all of you who have attended throughout the week, and all of you have participated, including the amazing founders we saw in this session. This event really for the Kingscrowd team is a labor of love. And as I said at the beginning of the week, and we'll reiterate here, we're here at Kingscrowd, right, to empower all of you that are looking to navigate these new investing waters with education and research tools to empower you on this journey. So over the past 4 days, we've had over 40 founders, over 15 providers in our market, from platforms to agencies to associations, and well over 700 of you have participated in the event. So we really hope you've enjoyed our programming and you've learned something this week, and perhaps you've even found your next investment. But most importantly, we really thank you for trusting us as your guide to navigating these digital private markets. Hopefully, as you've seen over the past few days, the industry has really come an incredibly long way and now can confidently boast some of the best companies and investors in the world. I'm proud to be a small part of this industry and look forward to continuing to help evolve our space forward. And I want to especially thank our entire Kingscrowd team, but really especially Sam Fisk, Chris Martin, and Connor Lovelace, who really brought this vision to life. It took a lot of man hours and women hours on the back end, putting all of this together and making all of this work and coordinating all of the pieces involved in this major endeavor over the past 4 days across 16 different sessions. So really can't thank all of those folks enough for all of the hard work you've put into making this thing happen. And we can't wait to see you all at Investment Crowdfunding Week in 2026. And thank you again for attending. Have a wonderful night. And the Kingscrowd team is officially signing off here. Thank you everyone again for attending. Take care now.